It's up here, that way we can record it, and if it,
You're gonna be on the internet.
Taylor Swift come up here with me or something. I think everybody for Travis. Yeah, stand up here somewhere. Yeah, over here. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's got it here. Well, good morning, everybody. Jimmy, thank you. Adrian, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I guarantee you had more exciting speakers. I guarantee you had more exciting topics to talk about than property damage restoration. But again, my name is Bill Wilkinson, and I was actually having a conversation with you at this table. I actually was in Rotary up in Kansas City for about 4 years, and in the Glasgow Rotary. If anybody knows anybody in that chapter. Application. I was telling them I was actually in it, then my company started having meetings every Tuesday morning. So we couldn't, I couldn't stay in Rotary. Plus one of the guys that I was in there with passed away, not to bring it down on the meeting, but and it just wasn't a favorite. So, but anyway, I really enjoyed it. We did a Glad Fest up there, which is actually, I think, this weekend, June, the first weekend of October. This year's flying by. We sold turkey legs at that, and that was a big fundraiser for us. Every year before the St. Patrick's Day. See, I'm such a great speaker. I distracted her. We sold or we did pancake breakfast for St. Johnny in the city every year. And then our big fundraiser was wine pouring every month. The people that sold wine there couldn't sell, but they could pour. So they paid us $20 a person to pour. So it was supposed to interesting 2 hours a month. That wine, it's just weird. I shouldn't say different, like wine connoisseur. Anyway, my name is Bill Wilkinson, ATP Restoration. My wife and I just recently moved to the lake full time in the city back in May. May's not a great time to move to the lake, especially when you buy a house and projects done, because everybody wants to come to the lake every weekend. I see my kids 10 times more during the summertime than I do now. Now nobody wants to come to the lake, although I think this is the best time of year to be at the lake. I'm not a stranger to the lake though. My grandparents bought a place in Graveway Mills in 1962, so I've been up more than 70. So I've pretty much been coming to the lake my entire life. When we decided to move down here full time, my wife said it took us 2 years to find a house. As you know, it's just been crazy the last couple of years. The lake has changed so much. She said, "I'm not living in a 1,000 square foot house with you." So we ended up finding a house in Lake Ozark, and again, a beautiful area, beautiful home. This needs a lot of work, but I'm going to start my projects again this winter. I've already been to Home Depot. I've gotten to know Mary at Home Depot. I don't know Mary. Okay. When I say Mary, it's Merry. And she's awesome to work with. I don't know if they're being sarcastic. I don't know. She's awesome. Because this house was built in 1984 and has not had a coat of paint on it since 1984. Outside, great. It's on the side, it's great. I don't know what the topic is here. I'm just saying talk. But she has been fabulous to work with. She helped design our kitchen. I basically went in. We closed February 10th, Friday before the Super Bowl. That's how I remember. We closed Friday, February 10th, I think, and I've been working on this house nonstop ever since. I come down during the week, or I come down the weekend. I go to the kitchen because Mary said, "I'll save you a lot of money if you've got the kitchen." So I go to the kitchen and the making, and then everything that's fabulous. I can't tell you. But no, they are very good. You work at Home Depot? Yes. Is that why you said that? How do you know my head for a second? No, Mary's been great. Been awesome to work. Here we go. Bill said hi. My wife has really gotten to know her a lot. When it comes to kitchen design, now we're trying. The last thing we're figuring out backsplash. I don't know how many shades of white tile there is, but I think I've looked at every single one. Anyway, no, we love living down here full time now. It's awesome. A little bit about me, I've been married for 28 years. My wife's Misty, we're both still lucky enough to have the companies in Kansas City we work for, want to keep us on board. So it made the move down here a lot easier. She works for a large church up in North Kansas City. She's the financial. You hear about an interesting job, the financial manager for a large church. Think my stories are good, but they're nothing compared to you. It's awesome. My oldest daughter is a teacher in Platte City, Missouri. Her and her husband, she got married last October. Her house live in St. Joe, Missouri. And she commutes down to Platte City every day. They're looking to be close to Kansas City. My youngest daughter just accepted a job in St. Louis in June. She moved up in the fourth part area in St. Louis. So we're kind of strategically right in the middle. So to get to us really almost to the our company, ATP Restoration, that's really why I'm going to talk about that, right? Met Jimmy's right, met Jimmy at Westside Social, which that's a lot of fun, by the way. I need to go there and do more of those. I met him about maybe a month ago, a month and a half ago. We talked about ATP Restoration. The story with ATP Restoration is when I went to my boss in February, and told him that, hey, bought a house and moved to the lake. He could have very easily said, good luck, have fun. And I'd be here talking to you about finding a job, right? He said, great, Bill, I'm not losing it. So do you still want to stay on board in Kansas City and run the business development side? I said, well, yeah, I'd love to. And it's nice for me to get back a day a week or a couple of days every week. Back to Kansas City. I still run the business development side there. Matter of fact, I just got down last night from being there for a couple of days. But he said, you know what? I've always thought the lake was a great place to do what we do. And our chief operating officer, Eric McCann, actually has a place over by my gravel place, because we still have a gravel place. He's always wanted to get to the lake. He said, you know what? I always thought it'd be kind of nice to work from the lake. Maybe do a long weekend, Monday morning, come down on a Friday. So he was all for it. So we did some research into property damage restoration. And I was the company I worked for before I joined ATP Restoration in 2018. I actually didn't cover the lake. I covered the Kansas City metro area and western Missouri. So basically, the visual line right now, Columbia area, western there. So I covered the lake. I covered Graves, St. Joe, Springfield, did a lot of in that area. So I knew who the players were down here. And there's some good ones that do what we do. But if you're from the lake, please don't take this the wrong way, because again, I feel like I'm from the lake. But the problem is that you need somebody to get there. How reliable are they? Oh, that's sarcastic. Because I'm always careful the way I say that. And I say that because I heard my dad, growing up, my dad would call somebody to have something done. And they were going to show up. You know, I mean, that's the way it is. And it's that way in the city now. It's just the work ethic, I think, has just changed. So our philosophy is, if you do what you say, when you say you're going to do it, show up on time. That goes a long way. You know, I mean, we're not perfect. Nobody is. But if you screw something up, it's a lot easier to fix it if you can rely on what you did. So that's kind of the knock I've heard. I'm in a memory group down there called BNI, and everybody in there is like, I'm still waiting for 6 months on somebody else. I'm not going to fix the name of the company, but that somebody else is going to take care of. Can you get on this for us? I mean, it's just crazy. ATP story is our owner, Christopher Perez. I met Christopher Perez when I was working for another company that called on contractors, and always got along. Don't take this the wrong way from where I'm at. He actually played football for KU. There's a couple of them down here. I find they sit together. Let's get more money in Columbia than talk about this. It's just really nice to have all the teams being really good right now. mean, I had some buddies that went to K-State, they came down from the game at Mizzou a couple weeks ago, we drove up there. I think everybody thought K-State was gonna roll Mizzou, I'd actually rather see Mizzou beat them if you got that. It's good for the area. You know, KU, K-State, Mizzou, they're all ranked right now, when's the last time that happened? In football. I got it. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, he played football for KU. Got drafted by Don Shula. Played for the Dolphins for a couple of years. He was the left tackle. Played for Billy Mason. Bounced around a little bit. Played for Green Bay. Played for New England. I think his last couple of years he played for San Diego. Back in San Diego Chargers. And then he played in the Canadian Football League. And then after that, somehow got involved in the property. Got out. That I mean, he played back when right? They always made decent money, but not like they do today, right? So it's like I gotta have something to do. So he got in with a friend with property management, and he worked for some large companies. Belfour being the biggest. Belfour is the biggest property administration company in the world. Based out of and then he worked for a company called Blue Sky in the city. And then he worked for a company called Catco. I think they're headquartered in St. Louis. They have a branch in Independence, Missouri. And I met him when he was at Blue Sky. Just always kind of had a good rapport with him. He never lasted. Never lasted at these companies. And I think a big reason why, it looks like a big reason why, was he just, this is going to sound corny, but he cared about the customer. And when you work for corporate America, I'm not corporate first 20 years of my life. But when you work for corporate America, it's all about the bottom line. My daughter's finding that out right now. She works for corporation in St. Louis, and she doesn't exactly like it too much. You just get it on your resume and find what you love. You know, it looks good on a resume, but then go work for somebody that cares about you and what you do. But anyway, he got fired from all three of us. He got fired from all three of us. And his wife in 2014, late 2014, basically said, it's time for you to do what you want to do. Time for you to open a company. Do this. And he's like, that's scary. Now I know because my wife and I spent the first 20 years of my life in corporate America in the financial industry. I worked for Deutsche Bank and Morgan Stanley. And can't get much more corporate than that. And I got laid off in 2009. The joke about it is the government or Morgan Stanley took $12 billion in TARP money. The government laid us all off. There was 12 of us around the country that did what we did. We worked with defined benefit pension plans. I was up at the airport in Kansas City getting ready to fly to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I got a phone call from New York. Your service is no longer needed. I lived 15 years from the airport. By the time I got home, my phone and computer didn't work. Shut them off. That's corporate America. Okay. So in 2009, if you recall, it wasn't an easy time to find a job. I remember sitting there thinking, man, it's gonna be tough. But I got spoiled. I flew around. I stayed in Chicago. I stayed in Dallas. I stayed in Minneapolis, Denver, St. Louis. All these 4 or 5 star hotels. I was doing really good. I was never going to that. I'll be honest. I was doing great. Everything was good. And I was living on, and then boom, all of a sudden gone. And it took me about 2 months to find a job. And I thought I would miss the travel. I lasted 3 months at that job and said, I don't want to travel again. I don't want to travel again. I missed so much time with my family. I forgot what I missed. I didn't realize what I was missing. And so I told my wife, I said, I'm done with this. I don't want to. Plus the company I went to work for was out of New Jersey. Forgive me if you're from New Jersey. Just a different world. And I used to fly into Philadelphia, drive up between Philadelphia and New York to a town called East Windsor. It's just a different type of people. And I thought, you know what? I don't need this. My wife's sure you don't with this job. So anyway, long story short is my brother-in-law was saying, you need to do something for yourself. So my wife and I bought a restoration company, ran it for 4 years. And realized that owning a restoration company is different. Nothing happens at 8:30 on a Wednesday morning, it happens at 8:30 on a Saturday night, 8:30 on a Sunday night, 8:30 on a Monday. I can't tell you how many swim meets and basketball games I've missed with my kids. So we ended up selling that company. I went to work for another company, and I was a territory manager for that company. And that's how I met Chris. So just how I met Chris. How much time do I have, by the way? Because I'll talk. Okay. So anyway, I got to meet Chris, and Chris started ATP Restoration. ATP Restoration stands for All Trades Performed. So, but it's also the initials of his late father. Chris is from Chicago. His father was a pediatrician, a Cuban immigrant from Castro's, Cuba. Moved to Chicago, was a pediatrician, and basically, Chris was like, I do the same thing that you do. You treat sick kids. We treat sick homes and businesses and households. So anyway, he was trying to think of a name that started with A because the phone book, right? Everybody thinks about the phone book. Okay, first thing is A, but it was like ATP. He's like, oh, that's my All Trades Performed. It was also the initial of my father. Fast forwarding, that was in 2014, 2015. Fast forwarding in 2018, he came to me and said, we were on a job working together, fired in Kansas City. He said, come by my office, I want to talk to you. He had 3 people working for him, and he needed somebody to do his business development. And he said, I want you to do it. And I said, well, I don't know if I want to change. I've from a couple of companies, had my own company. He's like, well, when you're ready, come to me. I'm not hiring anybody else. Long story short is, I joined in July 2018. I'm definitely. Now we're 18 people growing up in Kansas City. How does that translate here? Well, when we decided to move down here, we decided to open an office down here. Office is in Lori. That's in Lori, we're not too far from the grocery store right behind chances are where our office is. And we are in the I am building the office now. We got our first individual starting with us on Monday. He's a veteran. We love employee veterans. And I've been a little slow on marketing the company because I really don't want to do anything until we're ready. Because if you get that first call, you can't respond in a timely manner. That's not good. So we are ready to get going. So we're kind of full board this fall, get the name out. We do full service water damage, fire damage, smoke damage, storm damage, mold. So when I say full service, that means, God forbid, this room flooded, right? And there was a foot of water in here, we got to come in and remove drywall, we could actually put it back. So we do the mitigation side, and we do the restoration and construction side. We service the entire lake. We are looking for more people, so if you know anybody that's looking for work, have me call me. We'd love to talk to them. It's fun work. It's not, I'm not gonna sit there and tell you it's glamorous work. But it's fun work. It's working with the crew. It's working with your hands. It's great for people that just want to get out there and do gym work, construction work. So that's our story. Our story is about service. I mean, we're not perfect, but the goal is to treat people the way they want to be treated. So. I was probably going short. So, are there questions about it?
Wow. So, you've got 18 people in Kansas City, and you're going to grow business down here. Being involved in the community and everything else for over 8 years now, I've found that really the best way to build a business is bring those people with you because they're really not here. What kind of plan do you have to try to meet that demand? When the good companies, the good ones, are very, very expensive and they're back up 6 to 8 months. And then the new business like you come in and you can go down the hall, but you'll be the same level. So do you guys have a plan for that type of thing?
The plan is just to grow the team down here. My initial plan, I'll be 100% honest with you, is if I was to get a call right now that a house is flooded,
I would get my employee, to go over there. I used to do the work myself. So I'm not just a guy out there marketing. I was one man in a van for about 9 months when I owned my company. So I would get there, triage it, and then I would get some troops down between the city. 3.5, 4 hours I could have it there. I don't want to run that way very long. I want a team here. And I think that's important to have a team here. People want a team here. So that's why we are actively looking to hire. The gentleman that we're bringing on has a group of people that he's also going to connect with that are looking, he's got friends that are a lot of ex-military. There's a lot of ex-military down here, and they need work. And that's what I put the hire. But a lot of I say corporate, when you're corporate, it's all about. If I work for a corporate company, within a month after being here, my boss will be like, "Why are you doing this?" He's like, "No, take your time, Bill. Get the team, Bill. Let's do this right." Because when we get that call, we want to make sure we can assist. I don't know if you guys know Lady Movers too. Barry, Barry today, Lady Movers. Barry actually moved me here. He's got a great team, and he works with other restoration companies. And him and I got to, hey, if you need people to move things, if you need like 6 people for 5 hours, I'll get to it. So that's every new company's gonna struggle at first with, okay, the phone ring, how do we do it? That's how we're gonna do it. But we're gonna show up and do it. But no, I don't want to be that way long. I want to build. I want a full team. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. If you know anybody's looking for work, send them my way. Love to talk to them. What other questions? Anything else? I brought a bunch of stuff back there. There's golf stuff, there's pads, there's pens, there's brochures, there's everything. So please take it.
Do a double job. Yep. We're gonna switch it on. Yep.